Well, it's finally happening. After 2 years of waiting, Football Manager 2026 is nearly here. We now have the official release date, early access details, the price, all the platforms, plus a ton of new features, including the brand new Unity engine, a completely redesigned UI, the arrival of women's football, and for the first time ever, the Premier League fully licensed in Football Manager. This video is your complete roundup of everything we know so far about FM26. So if you want to go into early access fully clued up, stick around until the end. And if you're planning to pre-order FM26, you can get it for just £38.94 using my link and code down in the description. That also gets you early access around 2 weeks before launch, so you can stop worrying about that. So let's start with the basics. The release date. Football Manager 2026 launches worldwide on November the 4th, 2025. That's for PC and Mac, the brand new FM26 console edition on Xbox Series X and S and PlayStation 5 and the mobile version. Nintendo Switch players get FM26 Touch a month later on December the 4th. As always, there's advanced access on PC and Mac if you pre-order, and pre-ordering from an approved retailer gets you access to the early access beta about 2 weeks before launch, which will be around mid to late October. You'll get to start your save early, and all your progress from the beta or the early access or whatever you want to call it will carry over to the full release of the game. In terms of price, FM26 will cost $49.99 in the UK or $59.99 in the US and about $59.99 in Europe as well. They're all different currencies. Sports Interactive themselves are offering a 10% discount during the pre-order period, bringing it down to $44.99 currently on Steam. But if you pre-order through my link with code LOLLUJO, you get a further discount, which brings it down to just £38.94, which is £11 off of the regular retail price. And yes, the game will still activate in Steam as usual, and you still get your 2 weeks early access if you order through me. The link for that is at the top of the description if you want to get that locked in. And I know after last year, there's a lot of don't pre-order FM sentiment going around, especially on Reddit. But FM has always been one of the few games where it does actually make sense to pre-order if you want early access and the best price. The discounts all end as soon as the full release happens. So if you wait until full release, you're going to be paying more. And also if you wait until full release, by the time you get the game, you'll already be 2 weeks behind because everyone else will have had early access gameplay through their pre-order. So if you want to play first and cheapest, get it pre-ordered and expect to be playing that early access, the thing that used to be called beta, by mid-October. As far as platforms go, FM26 is available pretty much everywhere. Here is your full breakdown. The PC and Mac version is available on Steam, Epic, the Microsoft Store, and it's also going to be on PC Game Pass from day one. FM26 console is coming out on Xbox Series X and S and PlayStation 5 and will also be available via Xbox Game Pass. FM26 Touch is coming out on Nintendo Switch. That's going to be a digital-only release on December the 4th. And FM26 Mobile on iOS and Android is going to be exclusive to Netflix members like it was for FM24. One big unknown at the moment, though, is whether or not the game's going to be coming to Apple Arcade like it has for the last couple of FMs. As of right now, nothing's been confirmed. The Apple logo is noticeably absent from all of the promotional material we've seen so far. And as of right now, nothing's been confirmed. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. And it's likely going to be one of the many things that are clarified over the next few weeks. And as far as I'm concerned, it's a jolly good reason to subscribe to this channel and follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, wherever you like. I'm LOLLUJO everywhere across social media, and I'll always get the FM26 news to you as soon as it breaks, even if I'm in a theme park or not in the country. Usually when I'm in a theme park or not in the country. And now for the big stuff. Features. The biggest headline is the new Unity engine, which powers the brand new Matchday experience. Sports Interactive are calling this the richest match day ever, and from what we've seen so far, which admittedly is only a 1-minute trailer, but from what we've seen so far, it does appear to be a massive upgrade. And bear with me here while I read from my notes, because some of the technical detail does get a little bit fancy. So we've got new volumetric animations based on real life data, more realistic player movement, improved pitches, lighting, stadium detail, and even the crowds look better. Add in the fact that the Premier League license is now fully in the game, so you get the real kits, badges, and player portraits, and it finally feels like you're watching proper football, which is high praise indeed. This is the biggest leap forward for match graphics since the 3D matches were introduced before most of you were born, and I'm pretty excited about it. And then the other huge change is the completely overhauled user interface. Gone is the old left-hand sidebar we've been using for over a decade, and that's been replaced with a modern top navigation bar, completely different thing, and a brand new portal home screen. Instead of endless text lists, everything's now organized into tiles and cards, making it much easier to find what you need. There's also new bookmarks, so you can favorite up to 24 pages for quick access, and an improved search that doesn't just find players, it can take you directly to menus or even give you glossary definitions through the new FMpedia system. Basically, it's clearer, faster, and more user-friendly. And honestly, it finally looks like a modern computer game and not just a spreadsheet. And I think once we all get our sticky little fingers on it and have a play around, we'll quickly realise it's way more than just FM24 with a new skin, which is how I've seen some rascals describe it. Next up, we have a feature that's been in the works for years, and that is women's football. For the first time ever, FM26 includes a fully integrated women's game. We're talking over 35,000 female players and staff across around 4,000 clubs worldwide. And it's not a separate game mode. The women's game is fully part of the Football Manager universe. You can move between managing men's and women's clubs in the same save with real rules, real league structures, and bespoke player data. Sports Interactive are working with a host of licensed women's leagues. Details are still to come, but expect top competitions like the WSL and the Champions League to be included. I think that's fair. And it really is a landmark moment for Football Manager. And also, don't worry, if you are one of the knuckle-dragging meatheads who's super upset about women existing, you're still not going to have to talk to girls in real life. It is just a game. You'll be fine. And it's also a great leap forward for the franchise in general into this century. And speaking of licenses, as mentioned before, the Premier League is finally official in FM26. All 20 clubs have real logos, kits and player photos. No more fake names or kits. No more Man UFC. Combine that with the existing Bundesliga, Liga 1, MLS and more, plus the upcoming women's licenses, and this is the most authentic Football Manager we've had yet. One thing I've not seen any mention of yet in the trailers we've had so far is the Champions League license. Whether that means they've lost it or just haven't shown it yet remains to be seen, but I'm deciding not to worry too much about it because they have confirmed that almost all FM24 licenses carry over to FM26, which would seem to indicate that nothing major, like, you know, the biggest club competition in the world, has been lost. So I'm assuming the Champions League is still going to be in there. And then we've got a few other quick-fire important gameplay notes that we've pulled out of some of the press releases and stuff on the website. One of which is save game compatibility. Remember this? Remember that feature that let you carry your FM23 save file over into FM24? Well, that's still a thing, despite the complete rebuild of the game. And in fact, you can carry your saves over from either FM23 or FM24 into FM26. There's also changes to scouting, recruitment and tactics. Sports Interactive said in one of the press releases that the new user interface underpins further improvements across tactics, scouting and recruitment. But they haven't shared all the details of that yet, so we're just going to have to wait and see exactly what changes are coming. That's going to be another one of the many things that we'll find out over the coming weeks, I imagine. And also cross-platform consistency. Thanks to that Unity Engine rebuild, the game should now look and feel more consistent across PC, console and touch. It's not going to be the exact same game across all of those, as far as I'm aware, but it should certainly feel a lot more connected, whereas for the past however many years, touch and console have very much felt like very watered down, very different versions of that full fat PC game. Hopefully, it feels less like that going forward. There's also a few things that have been hinted at but not explicitly revealed yet. And there may be some tweaks coming to the transfer market AI, tactical tools, or even the manager creator, but none of that has been officially confirmed. We'll find out more as we get those dev blogs and feature drops over the next few weeks. So that is everything we know so far about Football Manager 2026. Your quick fire recap. It's out on November 4th. Early access is about 2 weeks before that if you pre-order. It's on all major platforms. We've got a brand new engine, a completely redesigned user interface, women's football, the Premier League, and save game compatibility with your current save games. But there are still loads of things we don't know yet, like the full Women's League list, a possible Apple Arcade release, new tactical roles, a few of which have snuck into some of the trailers, so we know they're coming, and whatever other surprises Sports Interactive have up their sleeves. I'll be reacting to every announcement and update as it happens over the next month or so, so make sure you subscribe here and follow me on Twitter, TikTok and Instagram, or any combination of the above to get all the info and my reactions the moment it drops. And of course, don't forget, you can pre-order the game right now for just £38.94 using my link at the top of the description. That's cheaper than Steam, and you still get access to that early access beta. Thanks for watching, folks. I'll see you again very soon, and toodle pip.